for being here.
Well,
And
I
I want to know about the VIPs in this room. The VIPs. Who are these very important dogs? What's yours name?
Davy. Davy Crockett.
Davy.
Davis from the CNI in Ormond Beach, Florida.
Beautiful. Well, it's so good to have you here. Thank you. And who do we have over here?
This is Micah. He's my
Micah?
Bible baby.
Bible baby. All right. How did he get that distinction?
Because
Because of the name, Micah, of course. M-I-C-A-H? M-I-C-A-H.
M-I-C-A-H.
All right. And who do we have? That beautiful golden lab?
This is Lionel.
Lionel. Beautiful. Lionel Richie, right? It is so great to have you here. Thank you for taking the time to come. And I don't want to dish you two ladies just because you don't have a working dog. Welcome back. It's great to have you here.
Well, it's good to be here and to be able to see you.
I tell you, lobbying is tough for someone who can see, and it's doubly tough on each and every one of you for doing this. This is difficult work for the youngest, hardiest person, and here you are going from Cannon to Rayburn to Longworth and back and forth, because our Florida delegation is everywhere.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is.
That's true.
Do you want us to introduce ourselves to you, Ileana?
I would love it. We'll start with you, and we'll work our way
I'm
around.
Kathy Davis, and I'm the president of NVIA Florida, with a wonderful group of people I have to work with.
Well, you are blessed. Absolutely. Amen to that.
And you've met me. I'm Denise Malcolm from Miami.
Welcome back, Denise, from Miami.
And Betty McDowell.
You don't know her, do you?
No, she doesn't. She's very low-key. Hardly ever see her name associated with anything.
Ileana knows about my awards.
You bet, you bet.
Yeah, I'm Carlos Montas, and of course I've been here before.
And we had met before.
Yeah.
And Carlos just got one of the governor's Quantum Life Awards.
Did you
Yeah.
really?
He
Carlos,
did.
congratulations.
Right?
Do you have a copy of it that I can? Well, we'll
I
pull
don't
it up.
I can send, yeah.
I have to toot his horn because he doesn't toot.
I'm very
He's not
modest.
here.
I'm his press agent.
It was in October for Hispanic Heritage Month, me being Hispanic. And
Wonderful.
So-
Robin, do you think that perhaps you could look on Governor Chris, A Point of Light for October, and pull up,
Montes?
Yeah, Carlos.
Sure.
M-O-N-T.
Thank you. And over here,
I'm Tom Ryan. I'm the chapter person for Fort Lauderdale, and I've been here before, and you've been more than gracious.
Well, I'm
Walking us
always-
around yourself, so
I'm
we
always
appreciate
ready
it.
to help. You know it. You
Yes.
lobby me, and whatever you lobby for is always on the right issues.
Carlos in Miami.
Carlos.
Come on down.
Hi, Joshua.
Oh, sorry.
Josh, how are you?
Josh,
Good.
Peter.
Good.
And then Guillermo, who is behind you, Carlos, is videotaping part of our meeting.
you all.
And then we put it up
So
on
welcome back.
YouTube. And we
I should put
also,
my bag down.
and we also put it up in our congressional website.
Great.
So tell your friends.
We'll do that.
Now, is YouTube accessible,
Good to meet
you
you,
guys?
Carlos.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Ray's on it all the time.
Okay.
One of the things we want to do is
Yes.
thank you for supporting the commemorative coin for Louis Braille.
Yes.
And it
Very
is
important.
right. In
Right,
your
right,
packet
right.
is
I know it.
an invitation when they launch the coin on the 26th of March. There's going to be a launch celebration at the National Center, so if you're available, we'd love to.
Well,
have
how
you.
about in Miami? Sorry to be parochial, but
Well,
in the Keys or in Miami?
Ah.
We're
Well-
trying to get approval to give one to
Governor
Chris, and we're up there for the Tallahassee legislature.
We will be in
It comes out that very day.
of the launch.
Oh.
And we're trying to have a meeting with Governor Chris. Maybe you could help us get a meeting.
Well, and today he's in Fort Myers with President Obama.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Unfortunately, but we can see that perhaps we can do something in Miami. We could work on something.
Yes, we need. Well, you guys are doing a wonderful job. I know in Miami we've got great organizations
Well, thank you.
working on these issues. So let's look at
Okay.
the legislative
I was gonna say-
agenda of blind Americans.
And the first issue is going to be on transportation, and it was an act.
The Pedestrian Safety Enhancement Act.
That's right.
We urge Congress to ensure the safety of blind and other pedestrians by passing the Pedestrian Safety Enhancement Act. It
And
will
that's
require,
It's bill number 734. It's identical to the one last year.
all right.
And you had said something about signing on, but it never really happened.
Well, then this time it will happen because the great Joshua Salpeter is on here. So we need somebody taking notes. So what number is it again?
734.
734,
And
34, like my age.
It's Cliff Stern's office that you want to contact.
And town.
Towns and who?
Cliff Stern.
Oh, Cliff Stearns, our own Cliff Stearns.
Yeah, that's why I was
Wonderful.
mentioning him, so I knew you're close with Cliff Stern, so that.
So it's the most practical means of assuring that blind and other pedestrians receive essentially similar information from sound emitted in internal combustion engines.
We just had our Vice President Dwight there in
Yes.
Canada. He travels a lot, and he was standing there waiting on a cab at the gas station. And one of the people said, "Well, sir, don't you want to catch one of these cabs?" And he said, "I don't hear a cab."
Oh
And
my
they were all
gosh, and they
Prius
were all there.
cabs, and they were there.
Oh my
Yeah.
But
gosh.
because they're
Well,
Prius, you can't.
They're Prius, well, yeah, with those new ones, new
Do you have one?
I'd like to have one.
I know.
Determine the minimum amount of sound necessary to offer sufficient information. Absolutely. Within 2 years of beginning the study, promulgate a motor vehicle safety standard to address the needs of the blind and a minimum level of sound. Yes. Apply the standard to all motor vehicles beginning no later. Yes.
Well, we're thinking too, that being that everybody's so working on the stimulus package,
Yes.
this is a good time to tell the car industry, look, try and come around
We
with
gave you
something.
money, now.
Yes. Now do the right
Along
thing.
with it, don't get us killed.
Even if it's a fan that only emits the sound like a normal engine, we're not saying do anything like a motorcycle.
Yes.
But
Something
something.
inexpensive.
Well, you know now somebody's got a bill to make the cameras emit a sound also when they take a photograph,
Oh,
to have it make a sound.
Well,
that's
the
Great
idea of
idea.
this too is that when, like in Florida, people can turn right on red. And
Right.
sometimes they're doing it at the wrong time. And we sure would like to know when we're to step back because of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That makes sense, and I will get on that bill.
Well,
Number
thank you.
2,
Number two.
The cameras will lead right into number
Technology Bill of Rights for the Blind.
Yeah.
Mandates consumer electronics, home appliances, and office equipment to provide user interfaces that are accessible through non-visual means.
Flat
Tell me
screens, bottom
what
line.
that means.
Okay.
Take that piece of paper and quick cover your eyes and go copy it.
Take this
Copy
piece,
the
take the
scanner.
copy, yeah.
Try to
Close your eyes and
With
copy.
your
You
eyes
can't
closed.
do it because all of none of the knobs
Exactly.
are in a way
Yeah.
that you
And
can
it's-
read.
Yeah.
How about a stove in a new house?
Yes, impossible.
Impossible to use. So.
I never use a stove, so I'll take your word.
But
Is that
anyway-
something in a restaurant?
But anyway, that's the kinds of things we're worried
Yes,
about.
common sense.
How about your TV set? Even the new digital TV that we're going to have,
The box.
the box to run it.
Right, the converter box?
Yeah, you can't use it if you're blind.
Oh my golly, so they're not even thinking about that. So they make any devices that they're making, they're not usable for you.
Right, so.
And we know if they could do that, if they could plan that on the design end.
Right.
Yeah.
It would be
More
less
costly.
costly.
Costly, yeah, less costly
So
than
what
having.
we'd like to have is, we have no bill this year, but what we're looking for is ideas of people interested in.
Maybe a commission, like you say,
Yeah.
of essential stakeholders to establish standards
Right.
for non-visual accessibility of electronic devices intended for use in the home or office. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So
Well, there's
if you are interested, we'll keep in touch with you, and if you have any input,
Good. I think Robin's got the Carlos points of light.
All
I got a
right.
very brief blurb about it.
What's that now?
A brief news blurb about it. Is that what you're looking for?
Yes, let me
Okay,
have
sure.
that. Is it about Carlos?
It is.
All right, let me see.
Carlos, happy
Governor
birthday,
Trump
Jeanette.
we spoke to one former officer who's recognized service to disabled Floridians.
Can I hire?
Carlos Montas received the Governor's Commission on Disabilities, who serves on the Governor's Commission on Disabilities, says it was an honor to receive the Points of Light Award because of my position on the commission. I've been able to make recommendations and just continue to work and continue to be an advocate, not just for blind, but for all people with disabilities. Wonderful.
Woo-hoo.
Well, hoity-toity.
And I met him when he was nothing.
Carlos. I doubt that Carlos was ever nothing. Congratulations, Carlos. Much success to you. That is wonderful.
Isn't that great?
Well, I hope, did the paper ever pick up on this?
Yeah, that was a brief interview I gave to a TV station there and stuff.
Congratulations. You're one of our hometown heroes.
So.
Good for you.
So anyway, with technology, if you're interested in doing anything, we can have you be in contact with our national center.
I would be honored. Thank you.
May I also add?
Yes, sir.
We are running into also a trouble with the Social Security Administration.
And here we go, number 3.
Yeah, but I'm
But
gonna
that's fine.
add something to this here
Social
first.
Security
And I
Disability
do want to
Tell
talk
me.
about that. But one of the things is, within the last 2 weeks, they downloaded information, and the 800 people that answer the phone are having a difficult time because of Java information that was downloaded. Blind people, their voice program goes out, they cannot read what is happening. They are having a terrible time trying
So
to fix.
frustrating.
It is frustrating. And people are fearful of even losing their jobs because of this. I understand that IRS is going through a similar situation with
Is
their
that right?
employees. Yes. So this is a problem, here again, going back to making sure that all websites even are accessible, including our own with the federal government.
Correct.
And if you can possibly be on top of that, this would help a great deal of blind people maintain their employment.
Well, tell me, how can a website be accessible to blind individuals?
Well, because we have the voice programs that will work
Voice
with it
program,
only
okay.
if people understand that there's little things that they can do setting up these websites that will make
Joshua is our webmaster. What
Okay.
can we do? Because I'm sure that we are non-compliant in that, and we'd
well,
like to be.
with our
How can we make it
national-
user-friendly?
With our national site, they'll be glad to give you any
Yeah,
information.
the National Center has a program
Web certification.
where...
A web service program.
Web certification. And they'll look at your website and tell you if it's accessible
What
or
needs to
not.
be done?
Well,
And what
let's
needs
do
to-
that, Joshua. Who do you know?
NFB.org.
It
What
was
is it?
in the IBTC, the International Braille and Technology Center.
The International Braille and Technology Center, based here in D.C.?
Yes,
Just
well,
let
in
us give you the
Baltimore.
number, and you can tell them.
Wow,
who
you've
you
got the
are, and
number?
this is what
Yeah.
you want to find out,
And
and believe me, you will get through.
410-659-9314, and you push number 5.
Wow, so they have the number.
Yeah.
What was that?
Say that number again.
410.
412.
410-659-9314.
And you push 5 for the international.
Thank you for that.
If you should get the voicemail, just ask them, tell them who you are, and that you'd like to page Dr. Maurer. He's the president.
Dr. Maurer.
I'm sure you'll get right through.
You know what? We should